Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the grain comments. Overnight you got beans lower, corn and wheat unchanged. Outside markets you've got the dollar higher and crude lower. Again, we have the same theme going on that the Feds may increase interest rates, which is helping the dollar and hurting commodities, especially in the grains. As far as the beans, we're seeing long liquidation as we get closer to the September USDA crop report. There's talk that the yield could be as high as 50 bushels per acre. That could add to the carryout and losing the luster of some of the funds that were long, in part because of the lower carryouts for this year, but mostly because of the strong demand. Cash-wise, we're seeing that the inverse at the barge market in beans is beginning to lose a little bit of its punch. That's the approaching harvest. Also, the corn basis at the Gulf seems to be a little softer as we get closer to harvest. Domestic basis is trying to keep things moving into the pipeline with lack of farmers selling. The Chinese buying delegation signed a frame contract to buy 4 million tons of U.S. beans. That was pretty much as expected. We might see some announcements of the export sales. Again, this is part of what they are expected to buy anyway. The talk is that the corn yield might drop on the August crop report. The beans could rally. We've got one private estimate on Friday, which pretty much was close to the USDA's August estimate, so we'll see what they say about the corn and soybean yield on Friday. No meal deliveries, no bean deliveries, no oat deliveries. There was some corn, wheat, and soybean oil deliveries. We've got scattered showers across the southern plains into Illinois, Indiana overnight. We've got scattered showers across most of the central Midwest and the southern plains today. Extended outlook next week calls for heavy rains for the western Midwest, but not a lot of rains for the Delta and the East. We're watching this tropical depression in the Gulf. Looks like it's going to spin up through Florida and along the East Coast, including Georgia, but not a threat for U.S. Gulf shipping or the Delta crops. Funds yesterday, sellers of beans, meal, oil, corn, and wheat continue to add to their short positions in corn and wheat and whittle down their long positions in the bean complex. For the month of August, we're kind of watching that stocks pretty much were sideways. Crude went higher, then it made a top and has backed off a little bit. Dollar was lower, now it's going to move higher. Gold's been leaking lower, and the 30-year bonds has also been inching lower as we get closer to this September 2021 Fed meeting, which they might raise interest rates. So a little bit lower in the grain, led by beans. We'll be watching for export sales tomorrow and that private estimate of the crops on Friday. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.